Welcome to Bench Burner Sports, everybody. Appreciate you hopping in as always. We are tuned in for another episode. It is UFC Fight Night Cejudo versus Song Yadong. It's going to be a fun episode here. We've got everybody here that's usually here, so we're going to be talking about that fight night. It's going to be a good time. As always, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the other places. We are there and not square. So appreciate everybody tuning in as always. Knuckles, what do you got, buddy?
Man, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready for another fight night. I'm glad that we're getting a crowd with this one. I get a little deprived of crowds every once in a while. Interested to see how the Seattle crowd is. If I can fucking talk, I keep tripping over my words. But anyway, I'm here. I'm ready. Obviously, one of my favorite fighters is fighting this weekend. Goes Jan Silva. So ready for that dog to start barking and ready for that fight to happen. That's probably the fight I'm most excited for this weekend, for obvious reasons. But the rest of the main card is mint. The rest of the card, not bad. So yeah, ready. Squared, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. One of my favorite fighters is also fighting this weekend. That's our boy Nick Klein. And if y'all want to get to know Nick Klein before he fights this weekend, go check him out on our previous episode dropped sometime in December. Don't remember the exact day, but won't be hard to find it, or just look up Around the Fire, Nick Klein. Really cool guy. Definitely excited for this card this weekend. I think it speaks volumes to this card or to this event that it's been through a lot of bumps the last couple of days, and it's still pretty damn solid. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Don't forget to follow us on X/Twitter at bench_burner. TikTok, Instagram will be bench burner sports, one word. Any other place that we're on, Facebook, Spotify, all that good stuff is going to be bench burner sports, 3 words. Ooh. All right, let's do this.
We're having a hard time. We're having a hard time.
Bench burner squirts. I got them bench burner squirts right now. I'm telling you, dude.
Hey, well, here's yours. I'm going to take the shot for you, sir.
All right, yeah, sure. Thank you, buddy.
You lost the challenge.
He lost it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I ate Taco Bell earlier, so I got the bench burner squirts for sure. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I can last. I'm sure the people watching are like, what the fuck? Go ahead, sorry.
Once we get to the main card, we'll work from the main card or main event down. Mm-hmm. We're going to start with a couple of events on the prelims. The first one is Austin Venford versus Nikolai. Go for it.
Veretinikov.
Yep, that guy for sure. It's weird. Billy Goff was originally supposed to fight Bill Algeo, I believe. And
No. Different weight class.
Wrong.
Billy Goff was supposed to fight Veretinikov.
Wow, fucking fight.
So no, it was Goff versus
Adam
Veretinikov.
Yeah. Adam Fuggett,
whatever his name is. Sorry, different guy, but he was originally supposed to fight Adam Fuggett. Didn't work out. He pulled out. Then I think he was also supposed to fight this guy that's fighting, and then the guy pulled out, and now he's fighting Austin Venford. So
I think he was originally supposed to fight this guy.
Veretinikov. Yeah,
he pulled out. Fugit, I think, stepped in, and then Fugit pulled out. Now this guy's suddenly back on the card.
And Goff's just fucking shit. He's out on the water.
I saw him comment on Instagram or a Twitter post. Like, why did he pull out of our fight? Question mark. So we'll see what happens there. I like Austin Venford, but I mean, who knows, man? It's just a weird short notice fight. We'll see what happens. Knuckles, what do you got on it, buddy?
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with Vanderford on this one. I mean, I don't know enough about Veretinikov, but Vanderford's fought some pretty high-level competition in his career. He's 34, which is a little concerning for that little amount of fights. I just feel like he hasn't been super active. I mean, his best win, I guess, is Fabian Edwards, which is not bad, but I think he can get it done. I just think that give him a shot here, but I don't think he goes very far into the division. I don't know if he'll ever crack the top 15, but we might see him at the top 20-ish, top 25-ish level, depending on how you order up your rankings. But yeah, I believe he'll get it done here probably by a decision. What about you, Squared? What do you got on that one?
Yeah, I'm a ride with y'all. I really don't have a whole lot on this fight for obvious reasons. It just kind of kind of just cooked up out of nowhere. Definitely some questionable circumstances with the whole Billy Goff thing. So I'm going to go with Vanderford just off of the vibes.
Cool. Hell yeah. The next one we're going to talk about, I believe, is the Fosharat. Javid Fosharat is fighting
Right, yeah. Ricky Simone.
Ricky Simone. That's an interesting one. I really think, honestly, I think Ricky Simone gets it done. I think the experience is going to speak volumes here. Javid is a great fighter, but I just don't think he's ready for the competition that Ricky Simone presents. People forget that it was a competitive fight between Ricky Simone and Yang Sedong before Yang Sedong knocked him out. So I really do think Ricky Simone wins that one. But hey, who knows? Knuckles, what do you got?
Javid's fight against Higman Zahabi gives me a little bit of pause going into this one. I think it's an interesting matchup, but I really think it more depends on what version of Ricky we get more so than what version of Javid we get, because I think that Ricky can fight to the level of Ayman Zahabi, if not higher. But again, Ricky hasn't been looking his best really in like a while, so I'm really curious as to how he pans out in this fight. I think he's kind of on the downhill slide. I think his peak was beating Merab by random ass choking him out there at the end of that fight forever ago. But I just don't think we'll see him crack the top 15 again. And I believe that Javid will get it done here. I think he's going to kind of return to form and kind of put it on Ricky, and Ricky won't be able to I don't think he'll just be able to answer the questions that are there unless something has changed drastically. He needs to try to fucking wrestle, which he didn't do against Song very much, which was a big concern. He tried to wrestle way too late into the fight. So, and I feel like he doesn't have the trigger, the ability to pull the trigger like he formerly did. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Javid, and I don't think he'll finish Ricky, but I think he'll win a decision, probably like a 29-28, something like that. What about you, Squared? What do you got on that, man?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Basharat. I think he should win this fight just because, as you were saying, Simone's kind of on the downgrade. He's kind of he's fading. But I will say that Basharat has been kind of unimpressive. Obviously, lost his last fight. That was his last fight, right? Versus
against Ayman.
Yeah. Lost that one. Which is understandable, but even when he wins fights, it's just I'm never personally super impressed by him. Definitely a lot of, I don't know. He just doesn't quite seem to have it. I do pick him to win this fight, but I do think it'll also be competitive, even against a fading Ricky. Yeah, so that's my pick is Basharat by decision.
Cool. Well, up next we got Nick Klein versus Manzir Abdul Malik. Manzir Abdul Malik, I believe he's undefeated. 7-0, 6-0 or something. Nick Klein's a friend of the show. Did he win his debut or not?
He hasn't had a debut.
Yeah, this is his debut here. Okay, Short notice debut, yeah.
Short notice debut, man, it's tough. The heart says Nick, but the mind says the other guy. I'm gonna go the other guy, just off of instinct. He's 7-0 or 6-0, one of the two. I think he gets it done. I love Nick Klein. I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong, but we'll see what happens. What do you think, Knuckles?
Man, I was torn on this one. I used to play like a little bit more with my heart, like picking on with my heart, and like I think Nick has the ability because obviously he was supposed to lose his Contender Series fight, and we saw how that went. I think he is a dog. He trains at a very good team. Obviously, if you guys go back and watch that interview we did, he has got a very good team up there in Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken, with the team that he's with. He's got people like Montel Jackson on his team, so he's training with killers, But I think that Manser is just kind of on another level. I don't know. I think that Nick can, and I obviously still love the guy. I'm going to watch him no matter what, and I think that he has the ability to beat Manser. But I just think that Abdul Malik he's streaking right now. He's hot. But a lot of the time, all it takes is just one chance for somebody that nobody knows about, and a lot of people don't know about Nick. And I think that might be this fight. I think that Nick could do it, but my pick right now is Manser probably by finish. Hate saying that Nick's a homie. Nick's friend of the show. Will always be a friend of the show, but I'm just real on how I feel on my pick. So that's how I feel about it. Squared, what about you, man?
Fuck both of y'all is how I feel about that. I'm riding with Nick. I get that this is a very tough task he has ahead of him. Abdul
Malik,
whatever.
yeah, Manser Abdul Malik, yep.
Al Jazeera, whatever that site is. Shouldn't have said that. My bad.
No,
Apologies, everybody. Go ahead and going to put that out there. Probably shouldn't have said that. He's a killer. That dude's a killer. He looked great in his Contender Series fight. Looked great in his debut. But I'm picking Nick Klein because fuck it, dude. We ride with blue collar. We ride with blue collar till the wheels fall off. I think that Abdul is going to try to rush a little bit. He's gonna throw hands the way he does, which is so far I think he's 7-0. He's done great with it, but I think he's gonna find himself in a little clinch situation with Nick. Nick's gonna maneuver and he's gonna strangle him. That's how I'm seeing this going. And sure, am I riding vibes? Am I going with my heart? Entirely, 1,000%. Am I gonna put my money where my mouth is? Maybe a little bit. Might put a couple dollars down on that. Is that a bad idea? Might be. But I'm going to do it, and I'm going to pick Nick Klein by submission. It won't be the first time. Won't be the first time we've seen this man step in on short notice and do what they said couldn't be done. So that's my pick is first round, maybe even second. Maybe a little scrap happens in the first. But I'm going to go first round submission for Nick. Blue collar Klein, baby. That's the homie. And again, go watch our podcast with him. That's a great guy right there.
Oh, yeah.
If y'all aren't familiar with him, great guy. Super easy to get behind. Super easy to be a fan of his, a supporter. Dude's great. I think a personal anecdote we got for him is that we have one episode out with him, one interview out with him, but we've done two. Some shit happened.
We lost the other one.
Yeah, first one never saw the light of day. He was cool enough to come back on like a week later. That's a great guy. I'm gonna support that man till I can't, till he's retired. That's the homie.
And I'll throw this out there too that I want to say about Nick and where I think his chances lie, because I do believe he is a live dog. I think honestly, if anybody is, I think it's him. And I think a big reason is because I know that you said maybe first round. I think legitimately, if he can weather the storm of Manser Abdul Malik, you can't throw the bombs that Manser does for as long as he does without wearing out. Nick, I have pretty good faith he can probably go all day. The type of guy he is, the type of stuff he does, we've talked to him. We get his lifestyle. He's a worker. I think he could potentially last the second or third round, but obviously, I made my pick that I made, and
another thing I want to mention that gives me confidence is Nick, when we asked him about his debut, his first fight, he said he was going to do what made sense. Obviously, we don't know how the fight business, the deep intricacies of the fight business work, but he said he is going to do what makes sense. So it gives me a little confidence that him taking this on short notice, he might know something. He might, again, guys, I'm being optimistic as hell. But he might know something. He might see something that he can utilize, that he really believes that he can come out on top of this. And I'm excited to see his game plan Saturday and his execution, most importantly, Saturday, and hope to see him get his hand raised.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think we will.
Next fight we're talking about here is Julius Walker versus Alonzo Minifield.
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 Alonzo Yard is what we're going to call it.
Minifield, sorry. Didn't know we had to get specific here, but Alonzo Minifield versus Julius Walker. Julius Walker, I think, takes this one. I think he's just got to finish every one of his fights. None of them have been against super, super crazy competition. He fought in Pete, which is what Bailey fights in. We love that promotion. I do think Julius Walker probably knocks him out. Knuckles, what do you think?
First of all, I want to say anybody watching the video form of this, sorry about my camera quality. I thought switching this camera would be better than the potato camera, but obviously this one's still being viewed as a potato, so apologize for that. Secondly, I think it's hilarious how Max perfectly said Mansur Abdul Malik, but he can't say Alonzo Menifield. I just want to say, I love it how he But anyway, yeah, I don't know. The experience difference here might be too much for Walker, but at the same time, Minifield is so wishy-washy. At one point in time, he was ranked and was looking to kind of make a tear, and then he loses to whoever. But when you draw with Jimmy Crute and at the state that Jimmy Crute was at, and then he lost. Who did he get knocked the fuck out by? He got knocked out bad. Who was it against? Carlos Olberg?
He didn't get knocked out by.
Was it Carlos Olberg, I believe, I think that's who we might have lost to.
Right.
But he just, I don't know, man. It's don't get me wrong. Carlos Olberg's a dog. But, I can't, man. I can't put good faith in Menifield, so I'm going to pick Walker here. And it's also because he is fighting out of Springfield, Missouri, so got to give he's not from Missouri, but I got to give the home gym some credit here. I mean, not my home gym, but home state gym. So we're going to go Julius Walker. And you know what? I think he's going to go ahead and continue that finishing streak, and he might catch Menifield off guard, especially with being short notice for both, because Menifield was supposed to fight Umar Sy. Sy had to pull out, or I think it's Sy, because it's Sada Basai's brother. So, we'll go with Walker here. That's just the vibe I'm getting here. Squared, what's your pick on that one, man?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Walker on this one. A lot for the reasons that you were mentioning. I don't trust Alonzo. Wishy-washy was the perfect word. He's also coming off of a two-fight TKO losing streak. So I think Julius Walker is gonna shine bright on this one. That's all I got to say.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
It'd be nice to have some new life in the light heavyweight division too. Good Lord. What's the next one, Max?
Next one is going to be Gene Silva versus Melsik Bagdasaryan. Bagdasaryan was a highly touted prospect coming out of the Contender Series. That being said, he stumbled in his last fight. I think he won his first 2 UFC fights. I think Gene Silva is going to make some work of him. I really do. I think it's going to be fun to watch. I think Gene Silva is just more hungry, better well-rounded. Give me Gene Silva. Knuckles, what do you think?
First of all, say his name right. It's Gian Silva. And secondly, you know what I'm riding. You know all day where I'm riding, bro. It's Gian Silva, Lord. He's the guy, man. I believe he is I think he's a top 10 featherweight, legitimately. Maybe I'm crazy. And I think he could be a top 15 lightweight. He's fucking good. He's got dynamite in his hands. He's a psychopath, which I love. I mean, we all love a good psychopath in the ring, so in the octagon. Whoops, my bad. Don't want to offend people. Octagon, not ring. I think Melsik Bagdasaryan's a dog too, though. I think that he could present some problems, but I think Gian Silva's just levels above. It's really weird that I know it was a lightweight fight, but going from beating Drew Dober to fighting Melsik Bagdasaryan, I know it's 2 different weight classes, but it's he fucking tuned up Charles Jourdain, and I think Charles Jourdain, even at featherweight, could probably hang with Melsik pretty well. So would have liked to have seen Gian get maybe a bigger fight, but he's still young. He's 27, I think, something like that. So he's got time to work his way up, but he's gonna knock this dude out. I firmly believe it. I don't like to make big bold predictions, but this is my lock of the week. I don't really make locks, but this is my lock. Gian Silva by knockout. Squared, what do you think, man?
Yeah, dude, I think Gian is gonna do it. Hey, real Gion's moving silence like lasagna, and the F is for finisher. He is he's gonna get the W this week. Dude, the dude's just he's a bulldog. He's a killer. I think he's already kind of proven that he's no disrespect to Bogdasarian.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
I think of Bogdan,
Let's go.
Walter White's boss.
Oh, fuck.
Bogdan, dude, fuck you and your eyebrows, that guy. But I think he's already kind of proven that he might be a little bit above this with some of his previous wins, and not to again, no disrespect to Bogdasarian. I think he's great and has a good future ahead of him, but this is Gion's fight for sure. Yep.
Boom.
That says it all right there. Says it all right there. I love how my camera will focus when I show. I need to just keep this up the whole time. It'll focus when I got. It's like, look at it, dude. That shit's crisp. Look at that. It's like, yep. Yeah. Like, yeah. For anybody listening to the audio version of this, I was holding my shirt up for like 30 seconds straight. But yeah. What's next, buddy?
Next up, we got Rob Font versus Gian G. I don't know.
I think that's Gene Masamoto. I think it's actually Gene. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. He's Brazilian too. I don't know.
Call him Jean Matsumoto.
Actually, I think that's how it is. I think it's Jean, like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
So he's French, Japanese, Brazilian.
Jean Matsumoto. He is every single ethnicity in the book. But regardless, he's probably going to win this fight, and I hate that for Rob Font because I love Rob Font. I hate that the Boston cartel or the New England cartel has fallen so far. You hate to see it. It's probably going to be a Matsumoto win, probably by finish. I don't know. We'll see. But what do you think?
I was looking up. I think it was the last fight. I'm just looking this up real quick. Yeah, he went to decision with Brett Katona. If I remember right, that one fight of the night, I think, on that card. I do remember that because that was the Fluffy Hernandez where he just fucking ran through Michelle Pereira. Well, I mean, Michelle gave him a storm in the beginning, but let me look it up again because that was the same card. They both fought on the same card. John and Rob Font both fought on the same card, and that was the one where Rob Font was the underdog to Kyler Phillips, like substantial underdog, and did what Rob Font does. Matsumoto went to decision with Brad Katona. It was a clear-cut decision, 29-28, but I think it was like one of the big. It was one of the big fight. Yeah, it was a fight of the night candidate. Some people scored it for Katona. So here's my thing. If you're going to, I know Jean's like 25 or 26 at this point, but if you're going to decision with Brad Katona and you're almost losing it potentially in some people's eyes, I don't think you're ready for Rob Font. I don't know. Maybe Rob Font's chin is gone because he gets cracked in every fucking fight. But I think that Rob can. I think this is another like gatekeeping moment where Rob can hold it down, and I think that if Rob's good at stuffing takedowns, if he can keep it off the ground, which I can't remember if John does a lot of wrestling. I know he does some. I think that Rob can keep it off the ground, and I think he's going to piece them up. And I think this is going to be another Rob Font classic of, hey, y'all ain't ready for it yet. And I believe that Rob Font will come away with a decision victory. But I would not be surprised to see him get stumbled like 15 times in this fight and somehow still pull it off. So yeah, Rob Font by decision in this one. Not super confident because Matsumoto's a legitimate prospect and very good. So, but I'm gonna ride with the old dog on this one and go with Rob Font. But this might be the last old dog performance we get, so we'll see. Also, he's gonna be bald for this fight, so I don't know, because he shaved his hair. If you guys saw that when he walked out with Calvin Cater this last weekend, he was bald. So
Yikes. That's a bad omen. That's a bad omen.
What's the guy that his power was in his hair? That guy, who? Samson. Yeah, Samson.
You need to get to Sunday school, brother.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna go with Rob Font. Bald Font might pull it off. So what do you got, Squared?
Yeah, I'm going with Matsumoto on this one. I think he's a hot young gun. Hot as in like temperature wise. Not making a comment on his appearances. Come on, guys, be mature. Font, I think you called him the old dog. I think this dog might be a little too old now, especially for such a low weight class. 37 is just really up there. He's again, experience can be a major factor in this and could help Font out a lot, especially with some of the top guys that he's competed against over the last couple of years. But he's also not looked very great over the last couple of years. So I think Matsumoto is coming away with this one, perhaps even with the finish. Like y'all alluded to, Font's been getting cracked. I mean, that what year was that Cheeto fight? Was that 2022?
Yeah, and then Aldo, you got to remember, Aldo did the same shit.
Aldo, yeah, dude, that was just so brutal. And
I think those were like back-to-back fights too. Like he just got fucked up bad.
I just remember like it would be crazy because he'd be not piecing up Cheeto, but he'd be landing on Cheeto at a way higher rate, and then Cheeto would just be like, "And here's a kneecap," and you just send him wobbling across the octagon. Like that dude's taken some damage over the last couple of years, and it might just catch up to him this weekend. Cool.
All right. Well, yeah, I like both of those points. The next one is Brendan Allen versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. It's going to be an interesting one. I do think it's going to be fight of the night, honestly. And it's a tough one to pick for me. I do think Brendan Allen's going to, edge it out, but dude, I honestly don't know. It's going to be this is probably my least confident pick of the night. You just don't know. I mean, it depends on which Brendan Allen, which Fluffy Hernandez shows up. Like, it's going to be a banger either way. So I think Brendan Allen edges it out barely, but we'll see, man. It's going to be such a good fight. I cannot wait for that one. Nuggles, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Fluffy's going to take this, and I don't think it's going to be that difficult. I'm very, very confident in Fluffy. I think he has looked better and better in every fight, where Brendan Allen has, like we alluded to earlier in the card, with Alonzo midfield, is wishy-washy. Not at the same level where he's getting like blown out, but he can't keep a consistent basis. Now, don't get me wrong, the last guy he lost to, Nasruddin Imavov, is very obviously like title contender worthy, possibly champion worthy if he can fight the right way. But I think that where Brandon excels on the ground, Fluffy is better. And I think on the feet, Fluffy's boxing is a little more crisp. Brendan Allen gives me leaves a lot to love, or a lot to look for on the feet, where Fluffy, I think he's just very consistent, keeps a very basic boxing and kicking game going. But I just think that he is evolved from their first fight where they're both at. I think he had a slower evolvement, where Brendan Allen kind of like evolved quickly. Fluffy's just been a slow build, but I think where they're at right now is just two different levels. And I think that Fluffy's probably going to get a 29. Is this a 3-rounder or a 5-rounder? I think it's a 3-rounder, right? Okay, I think that Fluffy will come away with a decision here. I think it'll be 29-28. I do think Brendan might win a round, but I think it's not going to look like their first fight. If you guys have ever seen that, there was a lot of scrambling. They both were kind of green. I just think that Fluffy's a lot more confident in his game, and he's like a wet blanket. He's just going to fucking drown you, dude. I mean, we saw it against Michel Pereira. Once he gets a hold of you, it's like wraps. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Fluffy gets a TKO in like the second or third if he just keeps the hammer going on Brendan on the ground. Brendan also has a chance for some sub threats here and there. He's very proficient at getting submissions, but I just think that Fluffy overall is the better fighter at this stage in their career. So I'm going Fluffy by decision, and I think it's going to be a good fight. Like you said, I just don't think it's going to be. I think he's going to kind of start carrying the fight away as the fight goes on. So, Squared, what about you, man? What do you got?
Yeah, I am going to ride with Hernandez on this one. The way I see it is, I know their first fight was pretty good. I meant to go back and watch it fully before this, wasn't able to, but I have seen clips, and I know it was a good, exciting fight. I would pick this fight to be the most competitive on the card. Maybe not win fight of the night, just because I'm not sure their style was colliding where they're at now. Their styles colliding will kind of achieve that, whereas two dudes fucking brawling on the prelims might end up getting it. But Yeah, I'm going to go with Hernandez on this one. Allen, I think Allen is the better striker by just a little bit. And then Fluffy, in my opinion, is definitely the better grappler. But of course, Allen's a great grappler as well. So that's why I think this will be a very competitive fight, kind of both guys trying to force their methods of victory onto each other is gonna result in something pretty exciting to watch. But I got to go with Fluffy on this one. He's got the momentum. He's got the consistency. So yeah, Fluffy probably by decision.
Right on.
All right.
Also, expect a lot of the shit to take place on the fence. I think I think there's gonna be a lot of like clinching, a shit ton of clinching. So,
Main event of the evening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, bench burner sports. It is Song Yadong versus Henry Cejudo, Triple C. Triple C's coming back for his first fight since being carried around the ring like a baby against Mayrob. That was interesting. We're gonna go Song Yadong here. I think he's probably just gonna be too there for him. I don't know if that makes sense, but too there. Just Henry Cejudo is just not doesn't have it anymore. He's just slower. He's the takedowns are going to get stuffed, and you know Yadong is just going to be there for everything he has to offer, and he's going to be there with something to answer with it. I think he pieces him up. I think it's a brutal beat down of a 5-round decision. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be a finish, but I think it's a nasty 5-round decision where Henry Cejudo does not look good at the end of it. Knuckles, what do you think?
man, actually, that's your best take I've heard in a while. I love that. That's good shit. No, yeah, I think I think that they're at two different levels in their career right now. Now, if you ask me, like Cejudo back in like 2019, 2020, it'd be a pretty damn good fight. Like if this version of Cejudo was, or if that version of Cejudo was fighting this version of Song Yadong, yeah, I'd be there and be like, man, Cejudo's got a pretty live chance. But I just think the way that their careers have gone and the fact that Cejudo's last win was against Dominic Cruz in like 2020, something like that, which is fucking insane to think about. And the fact that Song Yadong has just fought nothing but killers. I mean, don't get me wrong, Cejudo's fought Aljo and then fought
Mayrob.
Mayrob. Um, those are two very good fighters, but they're two very completely different fighters than what he's going to be up against in Song here. I think his wrestling is very good, and it could potentially give him some rounds in this fight. But I think when that shit's on the feet, Song is just going to he's going to crack him, dude. I mean, Song did lose to Corey Sandhagen, but fuck, we saw him putting it on Corey. Um, uh, and this is a very different fighter than Corey Sandhagen, where like, a guy that's a whole like almost foot shorter than Corey, so he's gonna go out there and just probably put it on him. I know that Song has lost what 2 in a row, I think, maybe between Corey and Jan. Did he have a fight between those two? I don't remember.
Ricky Simone, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he beat the shit out of Ricky Simone. Very similar to that fight. I think that it'll be similar to that fight where I think Cejudo will have success, but he'll try to wrestle more than Ricky Simone did. But Song is coming from Team Alpha Male, Team Alpha now because they don't want to be called Alpha Male. Team Alpha, a very good wrestling based gym. And he's just getting better. I think he's like 27, which is insane. Fun fact: they both Henry Cejudo and Song Yadong both made their MMA debut in 2013. Song Yadong's 27. Henry Cejudo's 37. So that means that 38. So that means that Song. That means that Song was 15 when he made his MMA debut, and Cejudo obviously came from an Olympic wrestling background, so he started a little bit later. But just two very different levels where they're at. I think Song honestly might finish him in this one. Obviously Henry's tough as nails. He's been in there against some killers. I think one of the only people, I don't know how many people's finished him, but the only one that I can think of is the body to the knee by the greatest of all time, one of the greatest of all time, and DJ. I think that song might crack him late. I think he's, like you said, he's going to start wearing on him, dude, and Henry's going to look like a different person by the end of the fight. I could be completely wrong, and Henry's just shows what that Olympic level wrestling does. I mean, he said he was going to do that against Merab, but again, Song's not Jvalishvili, and he's not Aljo, so he has good boxing. Give him that. Cejudo has good boxing, but this is Song Yadong. He's got dynamite in his hands, man. That kid cracks, and he's getting better. I think he's only 27. Yeah, exactly. Song's got crazy speed. That's a good point. Song's got crazy speed. Cejudo does too, but we haven't seen him in a year and some change, something like that, or right around a year. So, yeah, Song is going to win this. I think this is a bounce back fight, especially after that damn good fight he had against Piotr Jan. So, Song Yadong by TKO. I'm going to go TKO, like fifth round, because not very many people, for some reason, lose in the fourth round. I found that, I saw a statistic the other day. Very rare people get finished in the fourth round. Don't know why. And it was after.
I got a hypothesis. It's because usually I feel like a lot of people are going to be more prompt. Obviously, the circumstances of going into a fourth round can vary, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be more likely to be taking that round a little slower, getting ready for a fifth round after 3 rounds that they're, probably used to. Yeah, that's my hypothesis.
Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega. He didn't get that memo, but
the reason that I mention it is because a statistic I read. I'm gonna just get this tangent out real quick, but the reason I said that is because Jared Cannonier this last weekend beat RoboCop in the fourth round, and like I read this thing about how rare it is for fourth round finishes, and at like middleweight there's only been like 4 or 5 fourth round finishes like total or some shit like that. And Jared Cannonier's been involved in like 2 or 3 of them or some shit like that, and he was on the receiving end of like 1 or 2 of them, and I was just like, wow. And then I looked it up for like other divisions.
Those goddamn crystals, dude.
Man, the crystals, man, power of that. But no, so I was looking up other fourth round finishes, and I was like, people just don't fucking like finish people in the fourth round. I mean, like Max Holloway and Max Holloway finished Brian Ortega, right? Because he didn't come out for the 5th round, so that's a 4th round. But anyway, random tangent. Apologize. Go ahead, Squared. What's your pick, man? Yeah, I
got. Dude, this one's definitely super difficult for me. Just because you look at it, I think Henry Cejudo is the better fighter. And I'd even say like by a good bit. Obviously, like not even just talking about like obviously one of them's been a champion and the other hasn't. But I just think like his skill set is better than Song's. But that being said, Cejudo is coming off of 2 losses, I believe, 2 or 3, 2. But versus Aljo, the champion, versus Merab, current champion, real great fighters. But then you bring in the fact that it's been a year since he fought. He's 38 years old at a very light weight class. That is not good. That's not a recipe for success. And then you've got a very young fighter who's maybe a little more well-rounded, but can you keep your feet still for a second? This dude's shuffling his feet around, getting all giddy about something. But where was I?
Talking about the well-roundedness of Song.
I think Song might take this one based. Now he's playing footsie with me. He's trying to get me excited. And buddy, it's working, so you better watch out.
Tune in for the OnlyFans. No, tune in for the OnlyFans.
But I think that Song might take this one based solely off of just being a little bit more active and then just being fresher, younger, faster, those things. I think if this fight had taken place a year ago, I think Henry would have probably dogged him. But I just think that things are going to catch up to Henry in this fight. So I'm going to go with Song by decision.
Oh yeah, cool.
I also want to I want to talk about this real quick before we go on to like the next portion or get ready to finish this all up. Did Cejudo have the biggest career fumble by retiring? I think he did. Like one of the
Probably.
biggest career fumbles I've ever seen. Because legitimately, he probably could have cemented himself as what, top 10 of all time, close to top 5 if he because
Just kept going a little longer. Yeah.
If he
Well,
didn't
shoot.
do that, it would have been he Brett Favre himself.
yeah, well, that's true too. Like that's the thing is that he beat Dominic Cruz, and then his next person up would have been like what, an injured fucking Dillashaw or something like that. Like
But
also if he
when he left, dude, when he left, he was like highly talked about as a GOAT, one of the GOAts.
It's
And when he
crazy.
came
Like,
back and Brett Favre himself to the fucking Minnesota Vikings and just.
it was all for money, I guess. Like I don't
I
know.
mean, I get it. Yeah, you know, some people need money. I mean, UFC is not the most prolific career, but he had to have made bank. You know, fighting for championships that long.
Between being like, I know that I don't think they make money off of
You don't
Olympics,
make
but they make
shit for the Olympics, but you can.
But you make.
I'm talking about like UFC, Triple C.
But no, but no, what I'm saying is like between the Olympics and the UFC, he had to have sponsorships from the Olympics. Like you get sponsorships and
charged out the yazoo for damn seminars and
Right.
open his own gym.
Like you can't tell me he doesn't have fucking money. Like he's probably set.
Yeah.
I get it. Some people are greedy, but like legitimately, I think if he had stayed and fought Aljo, because I think that was the fight they were talking about at one point too. If he'd stayed and fought Aljo or Dillashaw back then and stayed fresh, we might be talking about him as the greatest bantamweight of all time, and probably the second. Well, now he's been passed up by probably Figgy and Moreno as the second and third greatest bantamweights, but like or featherweights or flyweights. Fuck, I'll get it right. But like legitimately one of the greatest flyweights and could have been the greatest bantamweight champion. Like it's a huge career fumble, man. It's just weird, but it would be cool because nobody likes.
Was that an hour? Sorry, I'm so sorry. That's
you're good.
1 minute, right? Okay. I thought it said I thought the battery said it had 1 minute left. I was like,
I was gonna say I know that some people aren't the biggest Triple C fan. Max, me and him have been doing this for a while. He knows, like, every time I've talked about Henry Cejudo, I actually fuck with the guy. I like him. I think he's funny as shit. Because there was a difference between the cringe that Aljo was doing and the cringe that Henry Cejudo was doing. Henry's was just funny because it was like watching The Office. If anybody's ever seen The Office, it was like watching The Office. It was just and I think of that interview that Sean was doing with that reporter, and Figgy's off in the background, and Cejudo's like sitting there talking shit to him, and he goes, "Yeah, well, I think you suck," and then just like, "Go ahead, finish your interview," and then walks off, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And Sugar Sean standing there like, what the fuck is this? I love it, dude. It was my brand of cringe. Maybe I'm a millennial. Fuck, that's probably what it is. But like, I am a millennial. But then you have Aljo just forcing shit about coming on asses and whatever else he was trying to force. But that's why I hated Aljo, because he was trying to do the Triple C cringe. Now I like Aljo. I respect him. He's the greatest bantamweight of all time. So, but anyway, that's all I want to talk about on that portion. It's just crazy how Cejudo fumbled his fucking career. Made me sad. Yeah. I would like to see more. Before
the guy Brett Favre himself.
Oh man, it sucks. Before we finish up, little thing I thought about doing real quick, because we did it with the card before. Do we want to do a quick, because I like the play on the fire words, do we want to do a quick rapid fire picks, no explanation, just rapid fire picks through everything, just to recap all the fights, just real quick, rapid fire. I know you guys don't know some of these guys, so you can just pick based off of a name, but start at the bottom, work our way to the top.
Or every fight?
Every fight we want to do. I like rapid fire shit. You guys want to do it?
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I'll do it. Oh, yeah, you go. Well,
Nursultan Ruzaboyev versus Eric McConaughey. Never heard of Eric McConaughey in my life. I'm going to go Nursultan Ruzaboyev.
Whoa, there's no T in there.
Ruzaboyev. See here, this is where you guys are going to fuck me. This is where you did this on purpose, Knuckles. Nursultan Ruzaboyev is going to win just because he's Nursultan Ruzaboyev.
No, we're rapid fire, man. Rapid fire.
Say a name, I guess, right?
Just say a name, pretty much.
Ruzaboyev. Okay.
I will say, okay, I just talk shit on you saying names, but I was going to say, I get my gas at Conoco, but I'm not picking McConaughey. I'm going to go Ruzaboyev. Squared, what's your pick?
Ruzy, baby.
Oh shit, I missed one. Modestus Bukalkis versus Rafael
Cerquero?
Sequeira.
I guess.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go Sequeira. Why not? Fuck it.
Bukowskis, I like him. Squared.
Sequeira.
Fuck.
Sequeira.
Vertenikov and Vanderford.
Yep.
I guess that
Andre Philly versus Costa. I'm not gonna even.
Mezequiel. It's like Mezequiel. I'm gonna go Philly.
Yeah, me too. Philly.
Squared.
Really.
Andre
Touchy-feely.
Philly. Ion Kudalaba versus Ibo Aslan. Ibo Aslan because Ion Kudalaba is a uncoordinated fuck.
I'm gonna go Ewan because he's like Alonzo Menafield. He's just unpredictable as fuck.
No, he
So
sucks.
I'm gonna go Ewan. Ewan
He's the
Kutalaba.
worst person ever. He sucks as a human being.
What
But
about
anyways.
you? Squared. You're gonna go.
I'm gonna go with Ebo on this one.
Okay. So,
All right.
so those are the ones we didn't do. So wrapping this up real quick for everybody that's watching. I wanted to go through every fight, but I'll tell everybody. So our picks are: I picked Song, Squared picked Song, Max picked Song. I picked Fluffy. Squared picked Fluffy. Max picked Allen. I picked Font. The other two picked Masamoto. We all picked Gian Silva. We all picked Walker. Yes,
Yep.
we all picked Walker. Those two picked Aslan. I picked Iwan Kudalaba. We all picked Feely. Two of us picked Mansour Abdul Malik, but Squared picked Nick Klein because he's a smart man. I picked me and Squared picked Javid Basharat. Max picked Ricky Simone. We all three picked Vanderford. We all three picked Ruzaboyev, and I picked Buskowskis, and they picked Sequeira. You got it. I'm riding Modestus gang all day. Love the dude. He's an English.
I do like him, but he is disappointed me time and time
Ever
again.
since he got his fucking knee just absolutely fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
He's not been the same. That was our
Fuck Khalil Roundtree. Fuck that guy. Fuck him, dude.
Max just hates people who are in touch with their inner spirit, rocks.
No. I don't like douchebags, and he's a douchebag.
You know, there's a trend. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything. He hates Jerry Cannonier, who likes rocks, and he hates Khalil Roundtree, who's in touch with his energies and stuff like that. I was gonna say something else, but I'm not.
Yeah, you're gonna say something else. Don't say it, because
he also hates Joaquin Buckley, Jamal Hill. He hates Michael Johnson.
I don't hate Jamal Hill.
No, he actually likes Jamal Hill. And I'll save him. He likes Jamal Hill. He does like Jamal Hill.
I do. I love Kevin Holland.
Guys, I was trying to make a joke. Fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, y'all are trying to really throw me under a really bad bus to be thrown.
You know what's worse? I heard he hates Francis Ngannou, Israel Adesanya, and Kamaru.
That's personality based.
I don't you actually hate him.
I don't hate Leon Edwards.
No one mentioned Leon. Do you hate Francis Ngannou?
I'm not a big Frank guy, no.
What about his personality?
He's funny as shit, dude.
I think he's just
personality.
He's kind of a douchebag to me. I don't know.
I fell in love with Ngannou when he was doing the post-fight speech after knocking out Rosenstrike.
Well, here's the thing.
Shut the fuck up! I'm talking.
Hold on.
He's the Predator. He's Ngannou. He's this massive fucking dude, and he just looks terrifying. And they put the mic up to him, and he goes, "I knew when he called me out that he did not know what he was getting into." And I was like, "Oh, what a sweetheart!"
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
This is the most menacing shit.
Here's
just
the
so
thing.
Sweet.
I liked his Joe Rogan interview.
Okay.
I just don't like the way he carries himself. It just rubs him wrong. And he also
because he thinks he's bigger than what he actually is.
He also said, yeah, every opponent that I fight in the PFL is going to get $1 million. That happened one time in like 4 years. And I don't even know if that guy got $1 million, to be honest.
No, Henry Pereira definitely got paid. Like that, and it's legitimate. It's because PFL has they're dumping out their fucking bank account.
Anyways,
I was about to say it is bank.
So he was like he said every opponent one time
Yeah, well,
one time.
so far so true. Every opponent so far.
It's not going to happen again.
Well, the problem is he doesn't have
It's
he
never
doesn't have
gonna
anybody to fight. I'll give it. Like there's who's he gonna fight? Tim Johnson?
So.
Is he gonna fight fucking Tim Johnson next? Probably, or Ryan Bader or something like that. But no, I wanted to say this. What I think the most. I mean, I've always liked Frank. I've always liked Frank, but I love whenever my favorite part is the fact that he knocked down Tyson Fury. Like no base level, like no MMA striker should knock down Tyson Fury in a boxing match. And he hit him once and knocked him down. And then he did the fucking like shake and dance over him. I mean, he lost the fight, but did he really lose the fight? If it was Pride rules, we were talking about this earlier. Pride rules. I mentioned it before. I'm a big Pride guy. If it was Pride rules, Francis Ngannou won that fucking fight. Anyway.
Knuckles just say he's a big Pride guy.
But hold on.
We're getting carried
away. All right, boys.
Hold on. Yo, you guys keep talking. Hang on. I'll get you in a second.
No, we were closing the episode. What do you got? Oh God.
Let's go.
This honestly might help our algorithm. Actually, go ahead and keep that up.
Anyway,
big time Pride guy. I wish I could just have
girls, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you hopping in for another episode of Bourbon. I mean, goddamn it!
Wow,
that's a shout.
All
right
we do
there.
here is go back.
We're throwing it back.
We appreciate you hopping in for another episode of Bench Burner Sports. It's just ingrained in the mind, you know.
It is. I almost say it every fucking time.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Our YouTube presence has grown tremendously in the last just year. Honestly, it's wild. It's wild to see that people actually
crazy
like
because I came on about a year ago.
and it's wild to see people like to get on here and listen to us talk for like an hour. So we appreciate you guys, and we're gonna keep doing it, and we're gonna keep getting on guests. We're gonna keep doing what we do, and the support is wildly appreciated. We will never understand, but we will always appreciate it, and we will always promote it. So, actually, I'm gonna go squared first. Go ahead and shout out the handles.
That's insane! What a switch up! Wow, I was not ready for this. I don't know what to do with my hands.
It's like Steve Rule.
Hell yeah, great episode. Looking forward to the fights this weekend. Again, follow us on X at bench_burner. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Fuck. This is what happens when you make me go second. I'm folding. I'm collapsing right now. Follow us on Instagram or TikTok at Bench Burner Sports, one word. Everything else you can think of, Bench Burner Sports, 3 words. Like this video, subscribe it, send it to your grandma.
I don't think you subscribe the video. That's not a thing.
Subscribe to the channel. Send this video to your grandma. Send it to your really conservative uncle on Facebook. He'll love it. Tell him to stop before.
You know what? He'll talk to you about, or he'll talk about that to you on Thanksgiving.
No, especially when the conservative, that seems like a fucking win to me. When the conservative uncle sees the border I've got on, he's gonna love that. He's gonna love the border.
Maybe send this one to your liberal aunt. Maybe this is but the other episodes, your uncle will love it.
You know what? Yeah, Knuckles. He leans top left corner of the spectrum of the
autism.
I'm on some spectrum.
No, he leans top left corner of what you can see right now. Top left corner of the gay spectrum. But Knuckles, what do you got, buddy?
Squared was done.
I kind of was. Tag Jeff Bezos in the comments. He's not going to see it, but comments help the algorithm. Drop a comment. How about that? Yeah, thank you.
Knuckles, who is in top left. Let's make sure we're clear on that. He is top left corner of that.
This border's all. I'm kind of colorblind, so like part of it looks like the African flag. It's got me all fucked up.
Yeah, you're top left corner for sure. It's the best one. It's the most accepted.
One of the African
most
flags.
Accepted and least weird one. Trust me, it's top left corner. Go ahead.
I thought it was like this one over here, like the white, pink, whatever. But anyway, no, man, I'm here. I'm glad to be here. They're talking shit on me right now, but it's okay. I love being here, man. I love talking about this shit. We're having fun. This is a fun episode, obviously. Like, we're having a blast. This is what happens when there's, like, not a pay-per-view and we don't have any interviews. We just do random shit, and we love it. Haven't broke down a fight night in a while, so this is fun. Squared?
I'm so sorry, but speaking of interviews, everyone, I should have said this at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
Go check out. I shouted out the Nick Klein one, of course, because it's relevant. Bailey King, always relevant.
Yes.
Go check that episode out. That dude's a ball and a half. Always a great time with him. Dude just has a killer personality. Super fun to listen to. He's got some good plans ahead of him for the next couple months that ends with him hopefully ended up on the Contender Series, which would just be the coolest shit ever. So
we're going to have our first interview from a guy from Thailand. So
well, in Thailand. I don't think he's from Thailand.
Not from.
No, he's going to be officially. No, he's officially changing his nationality to. but anyway,
his name's Bailey Jing.
Oh, I was about to say something. Anyway, finishing it up. Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Always tune into this fight card. Legitimately, this fight card this weekend, I think is going to be great. Legitimately, even with all the dropouts, if you look at it top to bottom, there's a lot of good names on it. If you're a name guy, there's good names on it. But if you just like to watch bangers, there's going to be a lot of good bangers on this card. And obviously, you got to tune in for the one, the only Gian Lord Silva, my fucking psychopathic king. He's currently probably like one of my top 3 favorites.
In case you guys didn't know, Knuckles is wearing a Gian Silva shirt. I don't think he's made that. I don't think he's made it super clear yet, but he is wearing one.
Check out Full Violence.
Oh, you're wearing a Gian Silva shirt, dude? I had no idea.
I forgot to shout him out. Check out Full Violence. Always. I'm always repping Full Violence. Haven't been able to buy any of their gear in a while, but hopefully maybe I might buy one of their might buy one of their Nate Diaz ones. We'll see. They got a pretty sick Nate Diaz one on there. But anyway, also, fun fact for my psychopathic lovers, Gian Silva Fight Marathon just dropped on the UFC YouTube channel. Go watch it if you want to see some crazy shit. I'm propagating Gian Silva propaganda all week. No, but anyway, thank you guys. This has been like the longest outro of all time. Longest outro of all time. I'm getting a little unhinged. I'm not even intoxicated, nothing. I'm just here having a blast. So appreciate you guys.